Entertain a motion to come out of executive
So
session.
moved. Second.
Second by Councilman Redcorn, second chair made the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, open the vote.
Councilman Redcorn?
Yes.
Chairman Red Eagle?
Yes.
Councilman Rebar?
Yes.
Councilman Shackelford?
Yes.
Councilman Waller? Councilman Waller? Councilman Big Horse?
Yes.
Second Chair Tishwala?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you, Lacey. Thank you, council. I don't think there was any motions coming out of executive, was there? I don't think there was. Next on the old business, item number 9, the grid grant, column A, Councilman Redcorn.
Thank you, Chair. Kind of in the same vein as the other two items I had on the agenda, this would kind of flow into, if we utilize this building and the grid grant has been kind of back to the Mineral Council. The Mineral Council, Bill Lynn and myself, wrote up this grant, some others too, and we submitted it and we got funded. And then it went through, I believe, the nation, a few locations. They decided they didn't particularly want to do that, so it came back to us. So it's an electrification grant we wrote. The reason we wrote it, we were going to look at natural gas to see if we could convert it and sell it as electricity. They granted it, and then afterwards, this guy come in and said, we can't do that. So it's been in a tug of war since we got granted. So my thought is that if we consider utilizing this building, we roll with the grant and get this place up to snuff electrically and include a microgrid possibly so we could explore geo and natural gas at a later time. So anyway, it kind of flows off the building, and it sounds like to me, we're not sure how that one's gonna go. So I'm gonna say we probably need to table this one as well.
Councilman Rebar.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. So what is the scope of the grant?
Initially, it was to, if you recall, Paul, because we asked council to set up these generators in the field. We did 2 tests. One of them was successful because the BTU value was high, and so we were able to keep 3 pump jacks going, sell a quarter of it back to the provider, the electric grid, and we generated $18 in Bitcoin. So, and the BIA blessed it. We put a standard gas meter on there, they were okay. So they paid royalties to that gas meter. So with that, we were going to see if we could do that, expand on how we could use gas to sell as electricity. Wrote the grant up, sent it, it comes back, they funded it, but then I've been hearing over and over and over this guy named Sean Curtis from DOE saying, you guys can't do that with this money. So that's kind of where we are.
So you need to change the scope
Correct.
to do this the building here and.
Anything we want to do. I'm pitching, we take the building, we ask for the building, whatever that language is, and we use this building as a pilot for those renewals if we want to explore it.
And if the building needs some renovation, maybe the grant could help fund some of that?
Yeah, electrically for sure. We could get our electric up to snuff, and then we could do the microgrid, build it. And what I think we ought to do is build a grid, little compartment, connect it to the existing provider, and call it quits. So at a future date, if we want to explore tying in natural gas or geo, we got that.
Does the utility company, are they required by state or federal law to take our excess?
That has to be fleshed out. We did talk to the power providers here when we were looking at it. Indian Electric is a lot more conducive. They were willing to work with the mineral council to buy our electric if we produced. Not so much these municipalities.
I remember when Councilman Red Eagle, before I was on the council before, so this is, I guess, maybe 3 or so, he was talking to some folks about cogeneration and maybe using natural gas converted to electric to run the casinos.
Right.
And the concern was that I think the utility company might have said, if you do that, cut us off, we're not gonna be there as your backup.
Yeah.
Don't come crying to us for little deficiencies.
That's exactly what they said.
That's a big risk, but you're saying that we could generate electricity and force them? I mean, is there laws? And Raleigh, do you know if there's laws that they have to take our excess that we don't use ourselves?
So the top level issue is whether the state is a net metering state. So if you're a private individual and you've got solar panels on your roof and you produce power that you don't need, that gets sold back into the grid. Oklahoma has a little bit of a twist to it where they don't pay you the full retail price for that, but it's like an avoided cost rate. So Oklahoma is a net metering state, so that is good for generating your own power.
Do they have jurisdiction here?
Yes, I assume that all the lines we're getting are under the, yeah.
Councilman Waller.
Pretty close to right,
Thanks.
very, very close.
Thank you.
But the actual is that the law does state that on the initial, but the Con Ed or PG&E, there's only 2 groups who purchase it back, who we would make the agreement with. And they can turn us down on payment unless we take the lower payment, because we don't have a capacity on the grid. And that's the way they get around that, circumvent the law. They say, well, we don't have the structure. Remember all these power groups that were coming through? Basically, if we'd let them in, then they could have had that capacity. Right now, we can't add it, and we can't force them to pay for it, because I know their grid won't hold any more extra. And that brings me up to another thing. Are we out of executive yet? Yeah. The only comment I have is that, did you see the mound of trash over there where the guy, American Environmental, come out and said how many years they're going to be giving away that gas? Over 100. When we said, as a council, to the Royalty Policy Committee, doesn't matter how you do that in Indian country, if you're making a buck, you owe us. And that's over compression, element, or any kind of way. Now, our oil and gas producers are already held to that standard. But this guy's looking, because he came to us for disposal, but now he's promoting that he's hitting the grid with the gas and they're paying for it. And the electric, he's got back on the municipality though.
Okay, Chairman.
Thank you.
Hold on. I know I've worked with Councilman Rick quite a bit on this in the past. And just recently, we got with Don Williams, a CP organization, and through Bill Lynn. I know you don't like Bill Lynn.
Hey, I just talked casually.
Worked with Bill Lynn. Don Williams agreed to give his information, well records about wells out here in the logging area, which is the Okesa area, that area. He's already given that information to Bill. He downloaded it, he sent it to Lacey. Lacey sent it to Bill, and we got that information about those wells in the logging area. They're gas wells, and they're all terminated. So that's a step in the right direction, in my opinion, to get something going. If we decide to turn on a well, we have the information. He's already given it to Bill, and now you can go.
Okay, thank you, Chairman. So this grid grant, could you include the scope to maybe evaluate the feasibility of maybe putting in cogeneration, micro generation plants at stranded gas?
We could ask the question.
Because we do have a lot of that, especially that Keystone gas gathering system. They've developed, enough leaks that the current operator that acquired it is not fixing them. So there's a lot of acreage.
Okay.
And maybe we could drop in something and save those wells. It's,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
yeah, so you might want to consider when you're rewriting the scope to include,
Stranded
cogeneration
gas, yeah.
for stranded gas.
Okay. What I can do, well, I guess if I'll write up the scope, I'll set up some meetings, an hour-long teleconference, and we'll go over the scope. And then whoever wants to participate, and it'll be ready for next meeting. Here's your proposal, here's our resolution. With whatever you guys want to do, and working with the grants and working with this guy named Sean Curtis, because he's got to bless it all. So, yeah, I'll be willing to, I'll set up the meetings with Lacey, and we'll just have teleconferences. Okay.
Excuse me, Lacey's got an email from the chief just now. I read it, and it's, can you explain that to Lacey?
I didn't read it, I just forwarded it, so.
Yeah, he's talking about Doge, DOGE, you heard of that. He's talking about Doge, and there's some meetings, teleconferences and virtual in Alaska and Oklahoma City and Albuquerque, different places where we can, later on down the line, in the latter part of May and June, we can give suggestions about the BIA from our standpoint. This is from the chief, not from me, it's from the chief. It's in your emails if you want to read it. Go ahead.
Oh, I'll do that if that's okay, but then I'm gonna put it on the new agenda. The only thing is I still don't know if we're gonna take the building or not, or ask for the building or whatever. I guess that's still unanswered. To communications I had today. So, but I appreciate everybody's input. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman Redcorn. Old business number 9, item B, oil and gas summit artwork invoice. Chris, you got that?
Yeah, this is an invoice for, this is our invoice, the invoices from the art that was approved. And I did use it on, Facebook to invite people to the oil and gas summit, but it has been used. So, and we are gonna use it, and I just wanna include that, I'm getting a lot of, visits and a lot of phone calls from, old people asking if we're gonna have it again. So it's a need. So if y'all, whenever y'all come up with a date, just let me know as soon as possible so I can start setting up. Because we only have 47 hotel rooms. So I need enough time to block the rooms.
Yeah.
And, so if we have a day and a half, the budget is, I'll put it at 7,000 to get 10,000 from the casino. And I'll get with these 2 lovely ladies to get more sponsorship names and some, advice. So that's what I have today.
Do we need a motion to pay, what's her name?
Addie Horse.
Go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to make the motion that we pay for the artwork that's been developed for our summit. And that does mean that we are able to use it in the continuance.
Yes.
Also is that this is just a formality because this actual account does not hold bearing under certain projects, but I still think it's a safety net is to do a resolution.
Got a motion on the floor? Need a second? Second by Councilman Big Horse. Any discussion? Go ahead.
Is this gonna be paid from the oil and gas summit account? Or from the C-395 or the S-510, or where do you want it to come from?
I actually thought it was coming out of the account,
Just, can you say that?
the summit account.
Okay.
So it's,
And, Councilman Big Horse, you agree with that?
Yeah.
we got enough money in there?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't ask that.
We'll cover the invoice.
Okay, any more discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Thank you.
Chairman Red Eagle?
Yes.
Councilman Rebar?
Yes.
Councilman Shackelford?
Yes.
Councilman Waller?
I'm basically over here, yes.
Councilman Big Horse,
Yes.
Second Chair Tishewala.
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn.
Abstain, she's irrelevant.
Oh, my gosh.
Motion passes.
Aren't we supposed to do that?
Richard, tell Addie, thank you for her art.
I will.
No, it's, I love it.
Councilman Redcorn.
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I have a question, Christian. So, who did we send out the notice of the summit to?
Everyone that's on Facebook. And I did 2 emails.
Did you send it to any of our producers?
I always send it to our producers. That's all I have. That's all you got.
Okay.
That's all you got.
Okay, so when we voted to cancel it, did you put out any notice about that?
Yes.
The reason,
Lisa did.
they're all the exact same people?
We did wherever Lisa.
Because I actually was talking to a producer maybe 10 days ago who was booking his flight to come here for the summer.
Okay.
And he didn't know that we're not having it. And I was wondering, did we tell everybody that we told them we're having it? Did we?
I
Did we
just
turn
put it on
around and tell them
Facebook.
we're not having it?
She put it on.
I don't have email.
She put it on Facebook.
No, but I'm not talking about Facebook. Not everybody's on Facebook.
Everyone's on Facebook.
But I don't have the email she sent it to. I have no idea.
So the cancellation was only put on Facebook?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. All your producers are on Facebook and their employees are on Facebook.
Well, you know, I have great-grandchildren that I miss their birthdays on account
Well,
of,
I can't.
my granddaughter said, well, you know it's on Facebook, huh?
I can't answer to that. That's your grandkids. I'll make
I'm
sure
waiting
my
on
grandkids-
Kenny to throw me that lead.
That's my grandkids, I'll make sure that I go to their.
I didn't
birthday
miss
party.
it. I didn't miss it. I almost.
Oh, that's all on you.
Anybody else?
Oh, yes.
Thank you, Kristen. Thank you.
Thank you for everything.
Next on,
You know.
next on the agenda is,
Everything ready for us?
item number 10, meeting, is there any discussion about the meeting minutes?
Oh, meeting minutes,
Meeting minutes.
meeting minutes.
Any discussion?
Your correction.
Oh, yeah, I do have and I don't know if it's considered error or just oversight, but on,
Is this being filmed with me
What was
and gift Lord?
Yeah, on the.
under item 6A, the travel, and meeting to DC, it makes reference to Councilman Revard,
I needed
Uh,
that.
that question, the poll vote, or vote by polling, the telephone. And I think that was Councilman Redcorn that brought that subject up.
Yeah,
I
it was.
did participate in the discussion, and I think I read out our bylaws about special meetings and stuff like that.
It was.
But I think it should be Councilman Redcorn.
Okay,
That's all.
but I just needed to know right.
Yes, need a motion to approve the minutes.
So moved.
Second, third.
With the correction.
As amended.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Who does the second go
Raleigh Wilson.
Waller, man.
Yeah, Raleigh.
Can't give everybody.
I think second chair second. All right, call for the vote.
to? Councilman Rayboard,
Yes.
Councilman Shackelford,
Yes.
Councilman Waller,
Yes.
Councilman Big Horse,
Yes. Yeah, I want that.
Second Chair Tishewala.
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn,
Yes.
Chairman Red Eagle.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Yeah, before we adjourn, the chief sent us an email, and I suggest y'all read it before you sit down sometime. It's from him.
Okay.
I need a motion to adjourn.
Can I make an announcement?
Go ahead.
My graduation ceremony for my MBA is on May 17th in Pittsburgh, Kansas, if anybody wants to go, but I don't think that's possible, so. She will be.
Master's degree.
My master's business administration,
Congratulations.
What day?
May 17th.
I will actually be watching my daughter get her master's and grandson graduate. But I want to compliment you all, both. Because I think there's another young lady here.
Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Gorillas.
Other kids, congratulations.
No, we got a lot of it. I wanted, while we're talking, I want to talk about these children that got All-Stater this year. I want to compliment this young lady for taking care of that. I want to compliment my daughter who's trying to do the schooling, raise 2 kids and keep alive. And then try to stay up here and work. They need to be commended about that. going, that keep going. And I think it's his sons making me feel blessed. You know, I want them to know that they are blessed. And I
I
appreciate
have
it.
one more thing, because she's not gonna speak on behalf of herself. Lacey has finished all of her classwork, she has all but her dissertation left to on her doctorate.
Amen. Yay.
Thank you, Chairman. Thank you. I didn't see that 12 years ago, but I knew we'd get here eventually. You done good. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Council Secretary Tish Wallen. Rick
Yes.
Wallen, how do you vote? Councilman Rick.
I'm looking good on that.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call for the vote.
Councilman Shackelford,
Yes.
Councilman Waller,
Yes.
Councilman Big Horse,
Yes.
Secretary Tish Wallen,
Yes.
Councilman Redcorn,
Yes.
Chairman Red Eagle,
Yes.
Councilman Rebar.
Yes.